Before the pandemic,
Do we need to do school?
Yeah.
every day started with a morning rush
All right, hey guys.
to public school.
Okay, let's come to the table.
Now the commute is short,
Get talking about whales again.
just to the dining room
Where did my book go?
for homeschooling.
Harpoons
Teaching your own kids may sound tough,
were used
but for Jennifer McLucas of Vancouver, Washington,
to get to the whale.
it was a better option than juggling distance learning.
It was extremely difficult. I had a child in middle school and a child in high school and two kids in elementary school, and trying to coordinate their Zoom times and connect with their teachers and, to find out what we needed to do. It was really overwhelming for me.
That's when the McLucas family tried homeschool.
And at the time, I was looking for anything that would bring some peace to our home, and it really worked for us.
It's not just the McLucas family here in Vancouver. Families across Washington have decided to leave public for private and homeschool options. Looking at pre-pandemic state data compared to the latest numbers, private school enrollment has gone up 17%, homeschool even more at 43%.
What's going on here is really straightforward. Parents of really young children didn't want to sit them in front of a computer all day. And in particular, at the kindergarten level, where often that choice is optional.
Thomas D. at Stanford University recently led a team analyzing data across the country.
One of the most striking effects of the pandemic was an historically unprecedented exodus from public schools.
According to state records, since the pandemic, the 5 largest school districts in the state all have dips in enrollment. Seattle fell by 8%, Lake Washington dropped 3%, Spokane and Tacoma fell by 6%, Kent fell by 7%.
I think that one's pretty good.
The biggest changes happened in the elementary schools.
I have questions.
Yes.
When's lunch?
In just a little bit.
For the McLucas family, it's made sense to homeschool, even beyond the early grades.
Most of the people in our neighborhood here actually homeschooled in 2020, but when schools opened back up, their kids just went back to school, however they were schooling before. And I think that's great. For us, this was a better option.
The Stanford study also showed thousands of kids fell off the books that couldn't be explained by a switch to private or homeschool or moving out of state. In Washington, his team found more than 10,000 students were simply missing.
Some kids might be truant. They're just not in school. They've dropped out, aren't attending, etc. 2, they might be enrolled in homeschooling, but they haven't informed the state. So there might be unregistered homeschooling.
And I like hanging out with you.
I like hanging out with you too.
That's exactly the case for the youngest McLucas, Jane, who's 6.
It's not easy.
No, school is not easy when this happens.
In Washington, you don't have to send your child to school until age 8. So Jane's mom has no obligation to register Jane as a homeschooler for 2 more years.
It's corn dog day. Corn dog day.
It is hard to track the movements of families who homeschool if they don't report.
Chris Rakedahl is the superintendent of public instruction.
I keep saying to folks, no one lost children in this process. What we lost are the data around the enrollments and where they landed. And most of the gap that we don't have a hard number for, it's because they're in homeschool models.
I think we should get the morning corn dogs.
Clark, a sophomore interested in architecture, says homeschool has been much better for him.
I'm going to be completely honest, I did not get stuff done in public school. It helps me learn the things that I want to learn, that help me with what I think I'm supposed to do with my life. It's totally flexible.
I think people are learning that there's more than one way to make things work for your family, and I think that's really good. There's a lot of freedom there.
A freedom they stumbled upon when the world closed down. That's become their new normal.
I definitely would not have tried it if it had not been for the pandemic. And I think that first year was definitely empowering, not just for me, but I think for the kids too. All right, math and English, guys.
During the pandemic, there were a lot of families that also chose to leave bigger cities and go to more rural areas. And in some of those districts, enrollment has gone up. But overall, for the public schooling, the trend is down. So if you would like to see more on that nationwide Stanford study, as well as enrollment data for Washington State, you can find that all on king5.com. There are some easy links to click through if you want to look specifically for your child's district.
It's just one